used to bag work about an apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good, what's good, what's good? Y'all tuning in to the Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my hip-hop squad up here in effect with me tonight. My mom's raised me right, so we're going to always start with ladies first. I got my homegirl Tasha with us. What's going on, Tasha?
What's up? I'm Tasha Digital, also known as Analog Lady, and I'm so happy to be here again. Thank you.
No doubt. Always great to have you. I got my brother Nick from the ATL. What's going on, Nick?
Let's get it going, man.
All right, no doubt. I got my brother Jace over here. What's good, fam?
What's up, baby? Everybody, good evening.
No doubt, no doubt. Y'all know us. We jumping right into it. Tonight is one of our salute shows. If you've ever prayerfully been rocking with us, you've seen one of our salute shows where we just highlight somebody. It's like, you know, God bless P. When he passed away, you know, I want to make sure we giving everybody their roses while they can smell them. We was doing this before we lost P, before we lost Sean P. It's important for me. It's important for all of us to make sure that we're shouting out and saluting the people who have made some of this wonderful music that we love for this culture that we, you know, that we live for and everything like that. So tonight's show, we are saluting the RZA. We are going in on everything RZA. We're talking about when did we first know RZA was a problem, our favorite beats, our slept on beats, where does RZA rank, what is one of RZA's dopest produced albums, all that good stuff. My man Vince just jumped in. Everything good, bro?
Everything's good. I'm ready.
All right, no doubt. Let's go. Tosh, ladies first. Tell me this. When is the first time that you knew, not the first time you heard Wu, but when did you know this dude RZA, like, had some shit with him? Like, this dude was not fly-by-night dude. When was that moment for you?
Please understand that I'm an 80s baby, so back in '93, I was only 10. I have to put that out there for context, but I was definitely tuned into Rap City, and when I saw the Cream video and I heard that record for the first time, like, yo, who is that guy? Who's behind that beat? And you know, the lyrics and stuff went over my head at that time because I was just too young to really grasp all that, but over the years, doing the knowledge, I'm definitely going to say Cream.
Okay. No doubt, no doubt. Nick, what about you, bro? Now, I know RZA's your dude. RZA's your man.
He my dude, but
before we get into the rankings, just hold tight. I know that's your man, though. But when did you first know this dude is a problem? What song was it? When did that aha moment hit you when you was like, dude is a beast?
The Can It Be So Simple.
Okay.
I think I saw that like around Valentine's '94. It was like more laid back. Had come out, so I said, okay, this cat got many styles. I like that. So it's like February '94. It was like, all right, he's on my radar.
Man, this dude went in and got the date too. Valentine's.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, man.
Valentine's Day. You and your girl
had
sweaters.
Yeah.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. And that's the dope thing about dope hip hop. I can remember certain places where I was, what I was doing, everything when I heard that. What about you, Jace?
Bro, the first time I heard Protect Your Neck before the album dropped, man, I was like, oh, what is this? And it just stuck with me. But it really hit me that it was going to be a problem also when Can It Be Also Simple, same song. It stuck with me. That the bass line stuck with me, and the sample, it stuck with me because I knew exactly where he got that from. And I was 13, 14 at the time. I knew exactly where he got it from. I was like, wow, to hear what he did with it was dope.
All right. Y'all got me up here feeling like I'm 50, 60, 70 years old, man. Y'all,
you the old man of the group, man.
The OG. But now, I'm just like with Tosh. It was Cream for me. You know what I mean? I heard Protect Your Neck. I thought it was dope, and it's funny. My man Mike Michael Jean Jocks used to always be up in New York, and he'd come back to Philly. He was like, yo, Kill, man, it's this new group called the Wu Tang Clan. And at that time, the Booyah Tribe was out. I don't even know if y'all remember the Booyah
West Coast Cats.
Yeah, and I was like, they like the Booyah Tribe. This is gonna be whack. You know, he was like, yeah, they doing karate stuff and all this. I was like, man, that shit sound corny. And then I heard Protect Your Neck, and I was like, oh, these was the dudes that Mike was talking about. And Protect Your Neck and Method Man, I loved them, but it was more so because of the lyrics. I felt like the MCs were just so dope. The production didn't catch me. But when I heard Cream, that piano loop, like to this day, I tweeted something about when I still hear New York State of Mind by Nas. Like I still get that same feeling. Mm-hmm. See that Heineken commercial, like whenever New York State of Mind comes on, I get that same feeling I had 20 years ago. And it's the same thing with Cream. When Cream comes on, even when I hear the original sample, I want to sample it because it's just such a dope sample. And that's when I was like, yo, I don't know who this dude, RZA, you know, what happened?
That was the Charmels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. And it's like every time, even when I hear it, I'm like, yo, I want to use that, but it's like what I'm gonna do with it is Cream. But that was the moment when I was just like, yo, this dude is a problem. So that was it for me. So, what's up?
That's because Uncle Shoes was just going off House Shoes. He was just going off on Twitter about youngins that are sampling now. He was like, yo, you guys need to go on, and I hate to say this, he said, you guys need to go on whosampled.com and research who sampled this already. You're making the same record all over again. You slow.
Right. Yeah. And the crazy part is we talked about that, and it's crazy because I'm never making excuses. I always try to see things from both sides of the fence. So I'm not making excuses for these young dudes, but it's funny, but you know, you're right, they got to do the knowledge, but it's almost funny because when we were sampling in the 90s, we were sampling music from 20 years ago in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Now these new cats in 2017, they going back 20 years to 97. You know what I mean? So they sampling the stuff that we know. It's kind of like, how do we have to change the rules? Because for us, 20 years was good money, but now for them, 20 years, we like, man, you sampling, you know, Brownstone, you sampling joints, you know, you sampling Anytime, Any Place by Janet now, you know what I mean? And making songs out of them, you know, so how do we begin to change those rules? Because you think about it like this, and over like a Fat Rap by Fonda Ray, probably, I can't remember the exact time, but Eric B. as president didn't wait too much longer than when that joint dropped to sample it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So again, you know, I try to still, I'm the old dude, but I'm still like, we got to just, and this is why we do this, Tasha, is to try to give the younger generation more, you know, more of these are almost like lessons. My OG hit me the other day, and pause everybody while I go off on this tangent, but he was kind of just like, yo, Kill, man, I'm proud of you. Like you and your crew, y'all are like educating people. Like years from now, people can watch y'all podcast and learn so much, you know what I mean, about it. And I don't know if we've had a lot of places where the youth can go to actually learn, because a lot of them, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that's the way our parents felt when we played, you know, Public Enemy, and it was like, man, that's just James Brown right there. You know what I mean? And I know for me at that age, I wasn't digging in the crates and my pop crates to find James Brown. So the same way our parents looked at us, like, man, they ain't doing nothing, they ain't making no music. That's how we looking at these young cats. You know what I mean? But that's my little tangent. We're gonna have to do a whole nother show on that. But you know, we're gonna get into that. But
I love it.
I feel
you know, I created the sample appreciate on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It's generations and genres of music. You know, the other day, Brian Jackson showed up on my Instagram live. I thought he was on by accident. He was like, no, I want to hear what you're playing. Send me some links. And I'm sitting there telling the audience who he is. Like, I had to play The Bottle by Gil Scott-Heron so they could see Brian playing the flute. He's like, yo, you're embarrassing me now. But it's like, yo, there's an OG in the room. Like, salute that man.
Right.
So it's just like, I'm putting him onto new music, and I'm putting these newer cats onto his music, and how Gil was influential in hip hop.
Right.
You know, if there wasn't Gil, like he's a forefather of hip hop.
Right. And again, it's like you said about things you're doing, and I think we're now starting to give the youth a place where they can go. And I'm always shocked by the young people who follow me on Twitter. Like Nick said earlier when we was talking about, well, how old was they? Again, I just assume people who would watch this show would just be all old heads. You know what I mean? And a lot of young people watch it, and a lot of people, you know, tweet to me and say, yo, man, I learned so much by just hearing y'all chop it up. So, you know, it's definitely dope. So we prayerfully we're starting to bridge that gap between the two worlds, because I don't want it to be us against them, and that's where it's kind of been at, you know. And if we all doing it for the same culture, it can't be us against them. We all got to work together and everything like that. So
I agree. And I'm amazed at some of the younger cats that are like willing to learn as well.
Yeah. And that's always the thing. And me and Nick talk about that all the time, because I always tell them, when I go home, my mom is a jazz musician. When I go home, I ask my mom a question and I shut the fuck up. I don't say anything. I just listen. And a lot of this new generation, they ask you a question, but they don't shut up. They just want to argue with you. It's like, yo, when I go home and I'm around my mom and my uncle and these musicians, I ask a question and I just listen and just try to soak up everything that they got to say. And if that's one thing I can say about this new generation, I just wish, you know, ask the question and then just listen to the answer. You know, I don't do
two words, young generation: active listening.
Yeah. Like when I asked my mom, yo, like, how was it when, you know, Stevie, you know, Intervisions dropped? I just listen. I don't chime in with anything. How can I? I wasn't there. You know what I mean? So I just listen, you know, and if there's anything, you know, but like I said, again, I shout out a lot of the people who do watch and tune in and follow me on Twitter, young cats, and they, you know, they definitely want to learn. So we're building that. But Tosh, answer me this. What is one of your favorite RZA beats?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I had to make a list because, like, I'm such a super fan of RZA. I used to work with Shaheem. He came up under RZA, so like I got to learn about his story. I got to learn about RZA's story through somebody who's actually from Shaolin. So yeah, I had to break this down. So one of my favorite beats of his is "Shame on a Nigga." And the reason why he samples Syl Johnson, right? Now, Syl just put out a documentary on his story. And whenever Syl does interviews, he always says, like, you're sitting in the house that the Wu Tang money built. RZA contacted Syl to get permission to use his records. And he hit him off with some bread so he could get back on his feet or whatever. RZA tells that story in an interview with Nardwuar. So that's kind of why I love that beat. Not to mention, in the film, RZA's in Syl Johnson's film, and Syl Johnson, who's Selena Johnson's father, is saying, "Shame on a nigga who tried to run game on it." Like, he's reciting that, and that's so fucking dope. So yeah, that's why that's one of my favorite beats, because of the story, not just because of the beat, but the story behind that beat.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Nick, what's one of yours, fam?
Mine would be Snakes off of Old Dirty Bastard. I know I'm like the minority that loves Return to the 36 Chambers because it's just bizarre and all over the place, but that Snakes track, that's just one of my favorite RZA beats, man. Not to mention the top-notch performances on that song. What's my man that rap last? Shorty Shit Stain or whatever his name was. They could have left him off, but everybody up to that point.
All right.
Snakes on this joint right here.
Yes, sir.
Track 12.
Brooklyn Zoo is on that.
Yeah. All right, no doubt. Jace, what you got for your first joint, bro?
Right. This dude's catalog is something. It's a thing of beauty, man. But I'm actually going to go. This is hard, man. We're going to do this again. We're going to go around again. We're doing another round robin.
Yeah. Like I said, I was saying top three. You already know how we do. We're going to have leftovers and joints that ain't make it. So it's hard. With a track record like dude, it was hard to get to three because I could have named 5 off of one album, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Real cool.
God, this is hard, man. All right. Verbal Intercourse. The beat for verbal intercourse is dope, man. I'll just stop there. Verbal intercourse off of Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links. If you don't know about Only Built for Cuban Links, it was released on my birthday, 1996.
It just had its 22-year anniversary.
That's right. I mean, 95. Excuse me, 95. Yes.
95.
Yeah,
whoa, you said your birthday August 1st?
Yeah, we fellow Leos, August 1st, man.
That's what's up.
My bad, Brian.
I cut summer school to go get the CD.
Yeah, me too.
Both y'all niggas was in summer school. Okay.
So, exactly. Right? I'm in summer school for messing around, and I'm cutting the class to get that.
I was in the Gifted and Talented Science program.
Well, that's a different summer school, Jace. That's not really summer school.
Hey, man, I wasn't out on the corner. I was in school.
Nah, I will invest with you. I will invest with you. And for me, one of my first joints, man, is Incarcerated Scarface.
Yeah.
That beat, I actually think that's my favorite use of this Detroit Emeralds.
The drum break
On there. Drum break that's been used. I mean, Dilla made this famous for Common's Delight, but Incarcerated Scarfaces is the favorite use of that drum break, and is definitely one of my favorite RZA beats. Like that, the whole thing. When you talk about perfect hip hop, I just feel like that's a perfect hip hop song. Like that thing is just married, you know, like Ray's rhymes and that beat, it just fits perfect. The video just fit perfect. It was like three things coming together to just be perfect, and that joint was just crazy to me. So that's definitely one of my favorite RZA beats. Tasha, what's another one of yours?
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna go, since we were talking about Only Built for Cuban Links, and it just had its 22-year anniversary. I can't believe that it's been around that long.
Right.
Go with Glaciers of Ice.
Yeah.
That track was insane. Like when I first heard it, I was probably in middle school by then, but it was just I didn't have anything that I had ever heard in hip hop at that time. It was just like so many different ranges and sounds in that, and of course Blue Raspberry, you know, screaming and shouting, and like, you know, Master Killer talked his talk on there. Like it's just a dope ass track.
Yeah, that joint was crazy. I remember the first time I heard it and Lil Songs was leaking, and I think that may link first, then Criminology leaked, and it was just like, good God, this dude is just this dude on a whole nother level. And we'll talk about it a little bit more, but I always talk about how producers have that period where I think they're just in their groove. Like, you know, when same thing with an athlete, like them Jordan years where he just could not be touched. Like I felt like, and I'll get into it later, I'm going ahead of myself, but I feel like this album is like just when RZA was in that zone. Like that dude was just like anything that was coming out the ASR at that time was just gonna be freaking bonkers. Nick, what's another one of your joints, fam?
The RZA album always threw me off because he had the tracks on there. What was the joint where they was having the meeting at the beginning, and then RZA come in, the life of a drug dealer, talking about putting explosive in his pirate limp gave him away when the feds rushed him.
Fourth chamber, right? Fourth chamber.
That might have been it. But the beat, I don't want to mess the beat. That joint right there.
Oh.
That joint right there. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of the song, man.
You not saw the first song on the album?
Nah, no. This is like, you got Fourth Chamber, and you got the joint with Meth. I think it's called like Killer Hills.
Killer Hill 10304.
10304, that joint. That joint.
My man Muhammad from Afghanistan, he ran to Iran.
Exactly. He runs a neighborhood newsstand. That joint, yeah. That joint right there. That beat right there. I wish I could do beats good with my mouth, but I'll just butcher it. But the joint is banging, trust me. It's like right before investigative reports. It come right before that joint.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the Liquid Sword track list.
Yeah. Got the dude singing in the background.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Damn, man. Y'all gonna make me pull out a lot of CDs tonight, man.
Y'all pull them out.
Tonight. All right, Jay.
You know, just a nerd, man. He had to like put his track list in like a damn paragraph in the back. It's like all mixed up. It's not in chronological order in there. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
What you got, Jace?
Bro, it's funny because I was headed to that same album, the title track, Liquid Swords, man. How he does the sample at the beginning with the ball and the sword, and then he goes right into the beat, and it's just like he take the what's it, the Groovin' Willie Mitchell.
Yeah,
I think that's the sample. Groovin' is the name.
Don't give me lying, bro.
I'm pretty sure it's Groovin' by Billy Mitchell, man. He takes the brown. Yeah. He takes it from that. Dope track, man. Dope track.
When the MCs came.
Yeah, and that piano.
Yeah. The funny thing is that was my next joint too, Liquid Swords. Because I mean, I remember I was in McKeldin, that's Morgan State's like their student union or whatever, and I forgot who was playing it, but I mean that was one of those come clean moments for me. When I heard that beat, I was just like, yo. Then there's like RZA took the track and the what? It just the whole vibe of that joint, just like they was just having fun with that joint. Like it was, you know what I mean? Just crazy, man. Let's get through these because I got so much to talk about. Tosh, what's another one of your favorite joints?
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to make some decisions here. I just have to make the full disclaimer that I am totally biased because my favorite member of Wu Tang is Ghostface.
Going to the Iron Man album.
Yep, that's what I was going next to.
So that's gonna be. I'll talk about that album later on. I try to select something that's not on the Iron Man project just because RZA produced the whole damn thing almost. I'm definitely gonna say Run with Ghostface and Jadakiss. I'm kind of biased.
Okay.
I'm from the 914 area, and so is Jadakiss. He's from the next town over. So, yeah, that was definitely a dope track from the RZA.
Hell yeah.
And the thing I
was
love,
like Ghost bigging up Capadonna because he had that Run joint on the Pillage.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that Run joint is it was kind of like after RZA's heyday. So it made it even feel even better because it was like,
he still got
when that came on, that was just stupid, man. You know what I mean? So that's what made it even doper to me. That like this almost say like, yo, I still got it. Like I'm over here doing this, but don't get it fucked up.
Exactly.
Like I still got it. You know what I mean? So that was dope. That was definitely dope. Nick, what you got for another one?
Going back to the best birthday gift ever, right there. We're gonna go to Ice Water. That joint right there. Yeah. But when I first heard that song, it was like on repeat like 10 times in a row. Check out the Rap Kingpin, the Black Jesus. That beat right there, bro, is just like hypnotized, man. Like it's just, I be going to sleep sometimes and just be playing in my head. I can't go to bed. Ice Water.
Yeah.
Only built for Cuban links.
That's dope.
95, August 1st. The kid turned 16.
Hashtag Leo season.
I love that we remember dates here. This is the interview. It's great. People remind us every day when albums came out, people's birthdays. No, they kill me on people's birthdays when they're actually wrong. It's like, sorry, today's not my birthday.
Yo, I tell you this: you love people who know dates. That's JR. If you follow JR, this is the 18th anniversary. JR give you every year. He don't give you the 10s and the 20s. This is the 17th year anniversary of, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know how to remember that stuff, bro.
No, I was like hoping that he would be on tonight, but I know he's like more of an R&B cat.
That's the R&B, yeah.
Yo, JR, just seeing his post on the timeline just makes my day because he's everything. Like he
be jamming. That'd be my morning wake up. I see him jamming to a song on the video. Like, all right, time to get up and get moving.
With his red cup too, his red cup and sunglasses. You know what I mean? Always make me think about P. Why you be sitting just straight in a plastic cup? I always think of JR with that line. James, what's another joint you got, fam?
Bruh, off the Iron Man joint. I used to listen to this warming up for football, man. Daytona 500.
Ooh.
Daytona 500 was sick, man. It was fucking phenomenal. The The video with the Speed Racer. Yeah. Oh man, that took me back to my childhood, bro. Oh my goodness, Daytona 500. I throw that on right now, and then it's different on the single than it was on the album. You got old boys singing at the very beginning on the album. We are the voice squeaking. Yo, Daytona 500, man. Iron Man all day.
Yo, the hardest part is, bro, I wrote things down.
I have to.
But now,
on the Daytona 500 joint, that is the Force MDs singing on that.
Are you serious? That's who that was?
That's the Force MDs. We are the G.O.D. That's them. And back to Nardwuar, he interviewed Ghostface, and you know Nardwuar's style is he's going to keep bringing out records and books or whatever memorabilia to get your take on it. So he handed over the Force MD's vinyl to Ghost, and Ghost started telling their story, how they used to be the Force MC, how they're from Staten Island too, and that's how he got connected with them. So it's just dope that they're on that track too. They're still live, they're still active musicians, they're still performing, they're still doing interviews.
It's crazy. I never knew all these years that was them singing on it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's funny, man. I had stuff written down. I had my list, but as y'all name joints, and I'm pulling out the albums, and I'm looking down the track listings. I'm looking at Iron Man now, and I'm like, yo, Faster Blade, 260. I was like, I'm just sitting here like, God, yeah, Cam A, Mother of the Child, like, like the OG boxing hand, not the boxing hand that's on this, but the OG boxing hand, which was crazy.
Why Ghost always getting hampered with samples, man? You ever notice that?
Yeah, he always got like you was talking about earlier with the sun,
the flowers.
Yeah, the flowers joint, the OG flowers. I don't know.
Even on Iron Man, if you notice, if you bought a CD now, it's a song missing. Soul Controller not on it no more.
Yeah, a lot of them joints, especially like this is not RZA, but Ready to Die is remastered now. They tried to go after Easy Mo B, but in order for Bad Boy to retain ownership of the music, they just opted to re-release it without those samples. So Machine Gun Funk,
it sounds different.
It doesn't hit nearly as hard as it did in '94. Nope. Like you could tell, my real know that something is missing.
So there's a version of Machine Gun Funk that's different than the two I've already heard?
Yo, it sounds very thin if you listen to it now.
That's a good word, paper thin. It doesn't hit nearly as hard as it used to, but you know, shout out to Easy Mo B. He's so ill, and he loves you know, getting on people's nerves online who are trying to this day, they're still trying to figure out what he used to sample Craig Mack's favorite there. You know, he'll post a snapshot from who sampled, like, nice try. Not only y'all snitching, y'all getting it wrong, but nice try.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think I'm on my joint, I'm gonna have to just go with Cream. I'm gonna go with what I wrote down. You know what I mean? Cream, I love this song. Love the video. Damn Low Sweater. You know what I mean? Like that was my joint right there, because I've been rocking Low since college days, so that was like my line right there. You know what I mean? And Cream again is just that's what put me on the RZA, man. And it's, you know, the thing about it is through this, hearing everybody's thoughts and everything on these songs, it just, I think RZA's gonna bump up on my top list, like to where I had him at today versus now doing all this knowledge, just listening to y'all. But that's neither here nor there. Does anybody have any other like favorite RZA joints y'all want to shout out?
Before we go all night.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
Let's not go all night.
We will go to Slept On.
Let's go to Slept On. Jace, give me a Slept On and a lot of people may not talk about.
Oh man. So my first joint, Kill You and I, we love this track. I know you love this track too, man. Long Kiss Goodnight off of Biggie's Life After Death.
Sure. You just fine, B.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yo, that sample, that Al Green sample, how he layered it with the horns. Don't know where he pulled the horns from, but the horns he used on it, and then the keys that were sprinkled on it over top. Because those keys aren't on the Al Green joint, man. How he layered that together, textured it, dope joint.
Yeah, and it's funny because
sorry, I was just yelling at my son.
nah, that's all good. It's all good. The funny thing is with Long Kiss Goodnight, I talk to cats and they don't even realize RZA did that joint.
Which one?
Look, it's so funny that you say that. As soon I remember the very first time I heard Life After Death, that track stuck out to me out of all the production on both albums because it immediately told me, without looking at the credits, that was a RZA beat. Immediately,
It sounded like nothing else on there.
It fit, but it sounded like nothing else on the album.
And it's funny because that is probably my favorite track on Life After Death. Like,
That
it's
is
either
my favorite track.
it's like 1A and 1B, but I just feel like, and most people don't know it. Like, I mean, I'm talking cats my age too. I'm not even talking about young dudes that don't know that RZA was even on that album. You know what I mean? So, dope track, and then a lot of people don't even know that RZA even did it. You know what I mean? A lot of people was thinking that Hitman did it or Nasheem or, you know, somebody in that crew did it. I'm like, nah, man, that's RZA right there. You know what I mean?
The one thing that that was a dead giveaway was the stabs from the horns. The horns, it was like somebody just poked. To me, it sounded like RZA-esque.
All right. So, did you know that offhand? Like, did you know the RZA was doing something on there, or you literally could just tell from ear?
I could just tell from ear. It sounded like nothing on the album, and like having. I was a Wu head as a kid, man. Sons of Man, Killer Army, all of that. I loved it, but listening to how he layered it together, knowing the Al Green joint, but listening to how he put the horns on top. The horns, I remember, is what stood out to me on top of everything, because it doesn't sound like, it doesn't sound like it should be there, but it fits.
Yeah. That's the thing about RZA, cause he like, you know how Puff, man, he like his sound polished.
Yeah,
you can tell that wasn't from the hit. That wasn't Hitman.
That was
RZA stuff. He kind of sloppy a little bit.
Yeah, and his slop is in his slop. It fits. It's imperfect and it fits.
Yeah.
That's dope. But shit, that definitely was one of mine. Nick, what is one of your slept on RZA beats that a lot of cats may not know about?
It's on this album. My least favorite of them solos, but track 12, Stimulation. It got Blue Raspberry singing on it, but back then RZA used to always put like them Wizard of Oz sounding strings in there, and that song kind of got it, them Wizard of Oz strings, and I always like that with that rugged ass beat on the top. So Stimulation, track 12 to Cal.
All right, no doubt. Tasha, what's your slept on RZA joint?
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a joint that probably nobody even realized RZA did this beat, but it's a singer. Her name is Snow Allegra. She's really sweet.
What's the name?
Her name is Snow Allegra. So it's
I'm gonna have to look that up.
SNOH. But he used the same sample for Verbal Intercourse from The Emotions. And he recreated this joint for her. She's like an R&B / soul singer. Like I said, she's Swedish, but she worked with RZA. She worked with No ID. So this song that RZA produced is actually called Emotional, and I think that's a play off of The Emotions, who the original track came from. So it basically sounds like she's singing over Verbal Intercourse. It's crazy.
I'm gonna look that up.
I ain't never heard that.
It takes a totally different sound, but this is kind of what Salam Remy did with Amy Winehouse.
Okay.
Having her sing over Nas's Made You Look. So that's another joint that y'all may not have heard Amy on, but it's called In My Bed. Yes. Yo,
love that joint.
Salam Remy, like him, he's the one that connected Amy and Nas. They share the same birthday.
Don't talk about Salam too much, you know, kill him. He don't like Salam Remy.
Well, you know what?
I didn't say I don't like. Yeah, he go misquote me. I ain't never said I don't like Salam Remy.
We love.
We got receipts on Twitter.
Yeah, we love him. But lately, I've been having beef with his Instagram content because he's posting all the old soul performances from back in the day, but he's not pacing himself. He's posting like 2, 3 a day, and it's like, yo, we're gonna run out of joints to post, right? Like, take it easy, like curate. What does this song have to do with your production? Like, continue to tell your story. I feel like he's taking a lot of content and just throwing it out there, like killing other people's brands and shit. But that's just my personal thing with him. But yeah, that formula never gets old. Taking a singer and putting them on a hard ass hip hop beat. You know, RZA produced that track for Snow Allegra. It's called Emotional. Check it out.
All right. I gotta check that joint out. The first joint to me, and this is probably maybe right after Cream, my second favorite song on the Wu's first album, The Seventh Chamber. Like, I love that sample, man. Like that piano little trinket.
Yeah.
I love that joint, man. Like, that's one of my favorite RZA joints, and nobody ever talks about it. When they talk about, you know, the first album, nobody ever brings up Seventh Chamber. But that's one of my favorite RZA joints. And another one that a lot of people don't talk about is Wu Wear off the High School High soundtrack. I rock with Wu Wear hard. Wu Wear was crazy, and not to mention that whole High School High soundtrack.
Soundtrack had heat.
Yeah,
the other Wu track was on there. The
Winter Wars.
No, not that one. The full, semi-full Metal Jacket or something.
Rap Fanatic.
Yeah, that joint. Yeah.
My bad. Winter Wars was on Don't Be a Menace, but yeah.
Yeah. Back in the days when soundtracks used to be the shit, man. Like, it's a whole nother world now. It's a whole nother world. Jace, you got any other slept on RZA joints?
The joint that he did, I'm trying to cheat to look it up, man, but I ain't gonna do it. He had a joint on Big Pun's Capital Punishment album.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Thought that was superbly done. Check that out if y'all not up on it, familiar with it. That was a dope joint.
All right. What about you, Nick? You got any more slept on joints?
Yeah, Bobby Digital Mode, the Digital Bullet, the Brooklyn Babies joint. You remember that?
I like, that's when RZA started to lose me, them Bobby Digital.
I'm gonna post it as soon as we get off. But the beat, it's like, it sounds like a bizarre carnival ride, cause like it kind of speed up and slow down. The sound, I'm gonna post it up. It's called Brooklyn Babies. It's him and Master Killer rapping on it from the second Bobby Digital album.
All right.
I'm gonna post it up to you.
And what's up with you, Tasha? You got any more slept on joints?
Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, this one is Ghostface featuring Charlie Baltimore. It's called Stand Up.
Yes.
That beat goes so hard. For one, you got Lynn Collins talking her shit on that in the beginning, well, throughout the track too, even on the hook. But also, they brought Charlie Baltimore out to freaking Stapleton Projects, you know, to shoot that video. It was just like, she's such a beautiful woman, but she was so hard to do. So yeah, I love that joint.
Yeah, I forgot all about that joint.
That was that Supreme Clientele ghost, the dusted ghost on that joint.
Whistle.
All right, now tell me this, y'all. Always talking about this. Rank and your list of producers. Is it top 10, top 20? Let's start with you, Jace. Where does RZA rank for you, and why?
Top 10. I'll put him top 10. He switched from the ASR to the Roland MV. I forget exactly what point in his career he switched, but you could kind of tell the sound started to change, but you could still tell his form. He still stood out because of his formatting to me, how he programmed. He was quirky. Sometimes he would be off. He would put, like, there'd be like maybe a dragon snare every now and then at the end, like after everybody's finished rapping, like going like fading out. Like there'd be like a slight change every now and then. It would be a little off, but it would still be in pocket. I thought that was dope. He started to lose me a little bit too with Bobby Digital. I kept up with him for a minute, but then it got to a point because his catalog was really thick. There were a lot of Wu production offspring who took his style. So towards the end for me, it got to a point where it was kind of hard to tell him from other producers who were in the Wu's in the Wu circle. But I would definitely put RZA top 10.
All right, top 10, top 10. Tosh, where do you have the RZA at?
Yo, RZA, I'm gonna have to jump out the window and say that he's probably like #1 for me.
All right.
Not only just because of his like ill-ass production, but him as an executive producer and how he was able to give Wu that sound that they needed to like cross over. You know, he's so ill for that, and not just for that, but also what he stood for, the countless amount of people who he's raised. Like I know of RZA the producer, but I know of him as a person just through other people who have been influenced by him or that he looked out for. So he's very sharp. I mean, dude was heavy into different religious teachings as a child. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was able to mastermind a bunch of dudes that were his age. You know, but he already had that insight and that wisdom early on. So I just have a lot of respect for his foundation.
All right, no doubt. #1 spot. What about you, Nick? What you got?
He's #3 for me behind Premier and Pete Rock. Like I think we've talked about it before, but for somebody to do 7 albums of that quality, critical acclaim and commercial success in a 4-year span, I don't think no other producer did that. Not even Premier or Pete Rock. So it's like, for that alone, he was in my top 5. So I got him at top 3. Number 3 on my list.
All right. And it's funny because from saying we was going to do this show, I guess a week and change ago, at first RZA probably would have been in my top 12, but from this past week and all the research, I will probably definitely put him in. He's probably around 7 to 8 now. You know what I mean? And that's from, and to keep in mind, when people do these lists, a lot of it has to, you know, me and Nick always talk about age.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always, you know, I was raised on the Bomb Squad, you know, Marley, you know, I was raised in a whole nother era. But thinking about, like we saw about today, Nick, facts. You know what I mean? And the facts are, like you just said, he's 7. He had a run that I just don't know if anybody else, like you said, had that kind of run. The second thing, the run that he had with the array of artists, you know, nobody in the Wu is the same. So it's not like, you know, Method is the same as all these other dudes. Like, you know, I don't feel like RZA could have rhymed over them Ghost beats and they wouldn't sound as dope as they were. You know what I mean? So to be able to kind of telemate these beats for so many MCs that are so diverse is crazy. Talking about what Tosh talked about, being an executive producer, I always say that's what's wrong with hip hop now. We don't have the executive producer anymore, because if RZA didn't have that mindset, it would have been 8 niggas rhyming on every track. You know, but I feel like RZA was the one that's like, yo, Ghost and Ray, y'all do this, and Meth, you gonna get on this hook, and you know, Dirty, you do this, and like he was the coach of the team. You know what I mean? So that piece. Also, the other thing I don't think he gets a lot of props for that Tosh touched on too is being an executive. I think a lot of times when we think about executives in the 90s, we think about Puff, we think about Suge, and that's kind of it. This dude was an executive at a very dope level, you know, from, you know, copywriting the Wu W and then freaking it with RZA and all that. Like, this dude was ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
An executive, and I don't think a lot of people ever really talk about that aspect of the RZA. And then
those contracts where they could do solos outside of Loud Records.
Right. Yeah. And then on top of that, my last thing was I don't know a lot of other producers who have done this, but I feel like he also, what Jace touched on, was mentored a lot of producers. You know, whether it be Fourth Disciple or, you know, I kind of lost track of all the Sons of Mans. When they start breaking out in the 58 Killer Bees, I couldn't keep up. But I know that he was mentoring younger cats, True Master, you know, and I really don't know a lot of other producers who could kind of say like, yo, Pete raised me, or such and such, like Cream did this, whereas RZA was passing on that knowledge to other people and everything like that. So I mean, for all those things alone, he had to definitely jump from 12. He moved up like 5 spots when you really sit here and do the knowledge. And I think a lot of times, and why I piss a lot of people off on Twitter, is because, myself included, a lot of times when we do these lists, we don't even really think about it. We just be like, oh, this person's here, this person's here. But when you really sit there and have all this information in front of you on what RZA's done, it's like there's no way on hell he can't be top 10. You know what I mean? In my book and everything like that. Last question is dopest produced album. Jace, what is RZA's dopest produced album?
I don't know, man. Like Nick put a lot out there, man. So I can't tell y'all what his dopest album is. I can tell y'all what I'm probably rocking with the most today, which could change tomorrow because he's got that many dope projects out there. Is that fair, Kill?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm rocking it today with Iron Man. But if there was no Only Built for Cuban Links and no Liquid Swords, we don't get to Iron Man. I have to throw that out there. That's my caveat.
All right. Nick, what about you? What is RZA's dopest produced album? Okay.
That's not my favorite. My favorite is Only Built for Cuban Links, but the best produced is Liquid Sword. That album is so dark, man. Like the production, it's like you got to be in a cave in the winter listening to that joint. That's what it reminds me of.
Bro, that is the perfect album when the hawk is out, you got your gooses on, you got your 40s and your Timbs, and you riding and you on the Prowl album. That is it right there for me. Sorry.
All right, no doubt. And Tosh, what's the dopest, not necessarily your favorite, the dopest produced RZA album in your opinion?
The dopest definitely has to be my favorite, and that's gonna be Iron Man. We just celebrated the 20th anniversary of Iron Man last year. So if you go on Twitter or you go on Instagram, just look up hashtag Iron Man 20, okay? Content for days. I posted a clip of Bob James playing the original to Daytona 500 on the roads.
The Nautilus joint, yeah.
Very, very dope. Not to mention all the clips from The Education of Sonny Carson. Okay, I posted the clip of Sonny Carson on the ferry with Virginia, and my caption was, "I had visions of me and you riding on the ferry." Like, that album is a reflection of that movie in so many different ways. That album brought that movie to the forefront for a lot of people who weren't even in tune with that movie at the time. So that's why I love sampling.
All right, I got a question for you about a song on that. I'm gonna wait till we get off the air. I want to put on the spot on the air. That'll be an off the air question. But I always like to ask women about this one song from that album.
Probably Wildflower.
I just have to know, like, when you hear, what did you think of that song?
Okay, that song is just so vulgar and so disrespectful, but Kill, I always have an answer. I have an answer for this. You can come back now. You can join us again. But I understand. There's also knowledge in that song, Knowledge 120. Ghostface said, "I gave you earth lessons, came to you as a blessing. You didn't do the knowledge, but the God was manifesting." Those are the most righteous lines in that whole song. You can keep the rest of it. That song doesn't speak to women like me. For Iron Man 20, I posted the original skit, which was a clip of JD's Revenge. So I posted the actual scene. You know, there's a lady, she's really in the bed, butt naked. Like, my old man just came home. He was like, he ain't messing with me. But yeah, and I played a little bit of Wildflower before Ghost starts rhyming. So you only hear the beat. You don't really hear him being mad disrespectful and whatever.
I love that beat. Me and Kill was talking about that, like NWA, like some of them songs now, I'd be cringing, like, God dang, this was, because, you know, in high school, I didn't care. I'll play the hell out that song.
Yeah,
it's rough to get through today, even though I love that beat.
You know what? There's a lot of Ghostface stuff that I can't play at home now because I have a 5-year-old who's very in tune. He's like, Mom, he said a bad word. And, you know, I can't play a lot of Ghost's old stuff out loud. I gotta play it in my headphones or play the clean version, which to me is blasphemous.
It's like, it's almost like watching Boomerang on BET. Like without the America, without the curses, it's like I can't even watch it.
You know what? I wouldn't mind the clean version if it wasn't just like an erase and record over. If it actually blended with the original, like if they re-recorded it, like I would embrace it. But like trying to listen to the clean version of Ready to Die, like albums like that, I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I'm somebody's mom now, so.
Nah, I feel you. And I gotta go with Only Built for Cuban Links, man. I feel like this album is just perfect from beginning to end. But again, like I'm like Jace, I could say Iron Man. I mean, I love this joint, you know. Even though he didn't do everything on Supreme Clientele, I could definitely say that. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it literally
produced it. Like you said.
Yeah, you know,
his vision that made it like that.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things where, I mean, this man has done so much. So, but I would have to go with Only Built for Cuban Links. Yeah, so prayerfully, very dope show. Prayerfully, the younger cats learn something about Wu. His name really mentioned a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I always hear, you know, if there people talking about their Mount Rushmore, even with the young kids, you know, it'll be Dilla, Ninth Wonder, Pete and Premier, or, you know, Dre, but I never seldomly hear younger cats talk about RZA. And I don't know why. I don't know if that's, you know, by the time 2000 hit, you know, there really wasn't a lot of Wu action really going on like that. It was really just Ghost and Ray here and there. But RZA is definitely a dude that, you know, you got to do the knowledge on him. If you don't know about him, you got to do the knowledge on him. And I mean,
even talk about the soundtracks, all of the soundtracks that he was a part of, even Kill Bill.
Yeah, true.
So it wasn't just him being into martial arts. He got to actually participate in martial arts films.
Film scoring.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think the thing too is that I think RZA's vision was so much more than just hip hop. Like kind of just getting that film bug and getting with Tarantino and wanting to, you know, do his own stuff and everything like that. So, you know, because my young boy was like, well, why don't he do beats anymore? And I'm like, you know, truth be told, I don't know. I've never heard him say this is why I'm not in that forefront. I just assume it's because thing, you know, he's on Snowfall, you know, on FX now, you know, he was doing the scoring, he was doing his own movies. So, you know, I do know one of my favorite joints Only Built for Cuban Link joint was that Wu joint that he did. You know, so again, he still got beats. And Nick, I'm not sure if it was you who told me, but I totally forgot about that whole flood situation with you know, the whole flood situation with him, you losing. I think, was it you, Nick?
Yeah. Because they had to redo a lot of Method Man stuff, and they caught, you know, Inspector Deck, the whole album got wiped out.
Right. And I totally forgot about that. I remember Tip's house catching on fire, but I totally forgot about the flood with RZA's joint. So, you know what I mean? You know, definitely this. One thing I do want to show off, because Jace knows I'm going to show off from time to time. One of my favorite pieces right here, the RZA chessboard. There was only 100 of them made. You know what I mean? Definitely one of the prized possessions.
Which number are you?
I am number 39.
All right.
No.
39 out of 100. But yeah, one of my favorite pieces, man, because it's one of my favorite albums from the RZA. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Tosh, tell them everything you got going on. Tell them about the Wendell Irvine joint, the GoFundMe page, everything. Let's get that out here. Let's get as much support for that as we can.
Yo, first of all, I just want to thank you, Kel, for all of your support, personally and professionally. Like, your words just definitely helped me as of late. So I go by Tasha Digital. I build websites. I also do marketing. That's why RZA is my #1. My name is an ode to him. I always tell people I'm Bobby Digital's sister. He's so fucking dope to me. I'm also Analog Lady, so I'm the producer and music supervisor for my first documentary. It's on Weldon Irvine, jazz funk legend. He wrote over 500 songs. He wrote over 50 screenplays, and he mentored a lot of your favorite artists. So we're telling the story. We got permission from his family. We're fundraising right now. Shout out to Vibe Magazine, OK Player, The Fader, even Who Sampled featured our teaser on their site. So we're trying to raise money to get this film to the finish line. You can find that on weldonirvinefilm.com. Thank you.
What's all your Twitter stuff and everything?
My social media is, everything is under Analog Lady. So I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram under Tasha Digital for my diversity and tech content and design content.
All right, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Nick, give them all your stuff, bro.
Yeah, Twitter, only one way to win. It's only the #1 way. #2, win, like the last name, WYNN 79 on Twitter.
Yeah, get with Nick's circle. He keeps me up every morning with my one gotta go and put this in order and all the hip hop hurdles he makes me jump through every day to keep my mind sharp.
Little bro got to keep you on your toes, man.
Got to, man, and you do that every day. Without you, bro, I would run out of topics, man. Every day I get a new topic for a show messing with Nick, man. Hey, what's all your stuff, bro?
I've been lunching of late on all social media platforms, man. I'm the jack of all trades, master of none. But on Twitter, it's at Jerick, JERIK TYLER. On IG, it's JTyler0801.
All right. And you already know what it is with me, Kill889, IG, Twitter. We'll make beats for food. Yo, as always, thank y'all, and I'll check y'all out next week.
Yes, sir.